Hey guys, we are now live today on Faz Radio with crypto OG and entrepreneur Nate Harper, aka Forged in Crypto. We were talking about how we could talk today, and we had all sorts of plans. He's going to go into a number of things, but then we just kind of want to hang out. And if we talk about other subjects, then that's what we're going to do.
There's a lot to talk. There's a lot to talk about.
Well, go for it. So we have Titan here and Mr. Forged in Crypto.
Yeah. How's Titan
Rock
doing?
on.
Is everybody
Fantastic. I was really excited about this. I had such a good time with that first time you came on. I was really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, me too. It's always great just to chat, just kind of get caught up with stuff. And, there's a lot of things going on in the crypto universe. Everything's going to zero, so everybody's freaking out. So that's good. And then, we got the Bored Apes. We were talking about that before we got on. Let's just start with that.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah. Can you tell that story again? Because you started, and then I had to run off and use the bathroom.
Yeah. So I think I posted in the Platinum channel, but the Bend DAO, so it's BEND-DAO. They're kind of a lending platform for your blue chip NFTs. They have your Bored Apes, your CloneX, your Doodles, Azukis, all that kind of stuff that are blue chips, and you can lend against it. So you can lend it, and at any given time, it's up to 30 or 40% of the floor price. So, of course, everybody at the height was, super excited and decided that they wanted to lend against it. Well, you get 30 or 40% at, a floor price of 100 or 110. Well, as soon as that floor price goes down, they have what's called a health factor. Essentially, it's if you look on the site itself, if it goes below a 1, then it automatically goes up to a bidding auction, and it's a 24 or 48-hour auction. And right now, there are, if you look at the health factor, there's a boatload of, there was a few that a bunch of Mutant Apes last night went up for auction that got, essentially it's to liquidate it so they can pay off the loan. So a bunch of Mutant Apes and Bored Apes. If I look at it now, there's a bunch of CloneX that are on there. Some Mutants and Bored Apes that are getting ready they're at a 1.0. So the moment that floor drops below that, they get automatically put up unless they can come in beforehand and, pay down the debt a little bit or pay it off or whatnot to keep their health factor up.
And I was thinking that's gonna happen because right now, whenever the market goes down, you'll see Bitcoin liquidate and Ethereum and stuff like that. And we've yet to see something like that happen with NFT with these NFT pools, liquidation pools and stuff like that. So yeah, I can totally see that happening. And it's not going to be a big deal. It's going to be like, then people are going to learn their lesson.
Well, and I think why it started to go the way it is now is when you watch these floors, they usually move up if price is going down, like just in a sideways scenario. As the bull market goes, obviously everything goes up. But in the scenarios, what I was noticing is, with the price of ETH going up, the floor started to kind of go down because people were just looking to get their US dollar value out, not just their ETH value. So if we get a big run because of the merge and that pushes up, it'll be interesting to see how much of this liquidation spiral comes to play with all of these NFTs that are sitting on there. So now's your chance to get your Mutant Ape.
How much are they going for?
I think their floor is 12. Mutant Apes are 12.8 and Bored Apes are 70.2 ETH.
Wow, that's still just a bit above what I can do. Maybe if it gets down to 1 or 2 ETH. Oh, I'm sure that could happen though. That could happen.
I don't know because here's the thing that happens. So you get the auction goes to, if I look at the auctions now, so they're setting the auction at the debt price. So that's where it starts.
Okay.
So if I'm looking at right now, there's a Mutant Ape. It's got a floor price of 12.87. It got put up for auction. The debt price is 11.93. So it currently has bids up to 12.34. So there's a half a ETH difference in there. So even if this person got that and flipped it, for a floor price, they're only gaining a little bit of ETH on that side, and it's not going to lower it as much. I think where we see it become a big issue is there enough liquidity out there for these NFT projects. If you start to get enough of them out there in a short time frame, that's when I think you see that bid price start to really fall. And that's where I think you're going to see a bigger issue. So
there were people I was reading. There were people that were saying a lot of these ape owners had gotten 30, 40, 50 ETH out of it, and it made more sense for them to just let those go, hit the auction, they pick it back up for 13, and then ride it back up again.
Yeah, wash sales.
Because that way they get the tax break on that, and then they get to buy their ape back and then ride it right back up.
That's interesting. I could see how that could go. That would be wow.
Yeah, I tried that with Town. I sold some Town intentionally when it was pretty much at its lowest, because I was like, okay, well, I'll just sell this, then rebuy it. And I sold it, and then I couldn't buy it back because the price kept going up. So luckily I didn't do too much of it, but right now wash sales are still legal.
Wash sales are still legal. Is that January? Does that go away? Is that right?
Does it?
I think it's January, because I know they at least
yeah, they said they were going to pass that this year with the quote sweeping regulation changes in Congress, but nothing is permanent now. It's in all the bills, all the major. There's like 2 or 3, I think now, the major bills, and it's in all of those, but nothing has gone through yet.
How long do you need to? Okay, so then how long would you need to hold something before it's considered a wash sale?
30 days.
Okay, that's not so bad. See, I would have been fine with that down there.
Here's the thing, and I don't know. We were talking about this in one of our tax channels over on CFA, and the mini argument kind of came up. I don't know. I would imagine it's possible for them to do, but they were talking about backdating it. They could pass that law and backdate it and say anything from January 1st of 2022 is not considered a wash sale. I don't know if they can do that, but
here's the thing. Taxes are a nightmare. I did the best I could. I'm actually having to finish them up just to make sure, I paid enough. And
same here.
And, I'm trying to figure out how all that's going to be situated with the NFTs and the nodes and all that stuff. I'm like, you know what? Maybe they can come out at me and they can tell me what I did right or wrong. Just, here you go.
Well, I was talking to my tax guy about this. Now, I won't identify the tax guy, and this is not financial advice or tax advice, but it might be that if they have a problem with what you're doing, maybe it's going to scare them to tell you the right thing. I mean, it's like, okay, fine, go through all my stuff. Tell me what I should do.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. And I mean, I'm not hiding. I'm basically being upfront and with everything that's there and showing them, here's laying it on the table. This is what I think I got to pay. Am I wrong? Let me know.
So yeah, I've been doing the same thing. I've been working for a while, and it's all that NFT trading that's getting me. Because some of these NFTs, these Gala NFTs, last year I would buy one, and then they wouldn't fulfill it for like 3 days.
Oh, right.
And so it's like I paid like so much Gala or so much Town, and it's like, where's the NFT? And then, okay, do I say that I have it when I paid for it or when I got it, when it fulfilled? And then the way that Gala would fulfill these things is they do them in these batch transactions. So you got to go find a batch transaction of some item that's buried in the middle of this batch transaction. So it's
a nightmare.
So there's going to be a number of questions. I kind of feel like crypto taxes are so complicated that if you put up a fight with the IRS, they'll probably be like, you know what? Okay. But here's the rule going forward. I don't think that they're going to really get you for past sins. I guess unless they're not too egregious. I mean, if you owe millions of dollars, they're going to find the time it's going to be worth the time.
Oh, they'll always find something, but taxes are boring. Let's move on. Come on.
Hey, did you bring it up? I think you brought that one up.
No, come on.
Anyway, so I also wanted to talk maybe a little bit about nodes, and then that can dovetail into your node thing.
Yeah, because we just got the Spider Tanks nodes.
Yeah, I want to hear what you had to say about that.
Well, I didn't get to read the whole thing. I read through it. I read some of the comments. It's an interesting way they're going about it. So if you have the land, you have the map, you have the node, and then now we have, obviously they brought out with the drop ships and the tanks. There just seems to be a lot of moving parts.
Well, I was told that. So apparently, if you were a map owner, before you would have to play at least one game to get your daily distribution of silk.
Right.
They apparently have changed that to where you won't have to do anything at all to get your daily distribution. And I don't understand how they arrived at that, but that's the new thing.
Well, that's fine. Ultimately the maps itself, I believe, shouldn't have to do that anyway. So
well, that's weird though, because Bitbender, when he was on this show, he was adamant there would be no passive income anywhere associated with Gala.
Well, there might be
a really good comment
else.
In the Platinum channel, because technically the map itself is not just a passive earning platform, because you have to. I need to find it, but I can't remember who it was either. But it was a really good comment that made sense in why it's not passive, because you still have to connect to the planets and you got to do the matches, and it's almost like running a node in a sense as well. But that's where my point comes into play: is why do we have nodes and maps and drop ships and pods and so many things where I feel like there's so much stuff going on here in such the game itself can be very simplistic. It seems to be overcomplicated to the nth degree. And I don't know if regulation stuff going into this is why they have to bring all this stuff in. Is it a money situation that we need to fund a little bit more, is why they're bringing it out?
I was explaining this to Titan last night. So there's, and I'm just talking out my ass, so take it for what it's worth. But there's a number of things in a game when you put it together and scale it out. You have and the way that they're putting it together is you have the servers. You might have a web server, you might have an API server. You then have the various components of the game, and they've decided to break these up. They've decided in a lot of these games to break them up into separate components. Like for Mirandus, for example, everything's an NFT. A sword is an NFT, a vault is an NFT, and so on. And they're kind of extending this to spider tanks where, okay, a map is an NFT, a node is an NFT, and it seems that every infrastructure part that they're putting together is going to have not only corresponding NFT, but perhaps an earnable earnable component to it.
Right.
So that way you can encourage people to do better with it. So if you have a map, maybe you'll get rewarded on how popular your map is or how you configure it. And if you have a node, they're going to reward you on CPU power. And so for dropships, they came up with this dropship and pods idea. Maybe they want to encourage a separate part with that, but that's a scaling point that they may have determined. I say may because I don't know if dropships are an NFT or if they're just a fee or what they are just yet.
Right. I don't think we'll know that until next week. Apparently they have some more info coming out, which will be good to read. I'm just excited to get it going. Man, I was playing a little bit today and just kind of getting back into the spider tanks realm. I had a little extra time, so I kind of miss it. It's a fun game.
Yeah,
I just want to play it and earn it.
We've been playing it on our channel, and I've actually convinced Titan to actually play video games because apparently he doesn't do it that much.
I've never been a gamer. I would play on the iPad, I'd pick a game and just play it if it was fun. When I was younger, I would play computer games like 1602 AD. I like the builders. I was never good at shooting. My kids, I would play Call of Duty with my kids, right? And we'd be in that Yeah. So it's a good thing. Give me a gun, I would have been in big trouble. They have that one arena where you just climb over all the crap, and they would just sneak up behind me and blast me and laugh like crazy. And they'd stand like up on these things, and I would just shoot past them constantly. So I'm terrible with anything shooting. I think it's a fun game. I do enjoy myself playing it. but I'm just terrible at anything that requires shooting.
This is the same guy who couldn't shoot a goblin with the Mirandus game. Just
no, that's no. Hold it. So it's my computer, right? So my wife got us some computers. They redid.
It's not his fault.
The computers at the office she works at, and they just put them all on the table and said, if anybody wants these, they're out of warranty, so we have to get new ones. You can take them home. Well, she grabbed a couple of those. That's what I use for the home computers. Well, they're good for business, but they're horrible for gaming. And I'm over there. I was so frustrated. I was ready to throw this thing out the window. I mean, it would chunk past it, and it was lagging. I could not hit a goddamn goblin to save my life. And then I'm telling Faz I'm ready to throw this out the window. And he goes, hey, dumbass, didn't your son just get a gaming PC? Go log in down there. So I went downstairs, and I logged in, and I killed like 7 goblins in 30 seconds. I'm like, oh my God, this is a game changer.
Yeah, he's playing on this little postage stamp size office PC that you can get, the little tiny ones. And he's getting all pissed off. He's like, they should be able to make this game so it can run on this. And I'm like, dude, your phone is faster than that thing.
It's terrible. So yeah, I learned, and I'm gonna go once we get out of winter here, and I can see some green in my charts finally. I'm gonna go get myself a gaming PC. That's night and day difference.
Maybe did you earn enough from your Materium to go buy one?
Oh, I earned plenty in Materium, yeah. But I don't want to sell that. Mirandus is really what got me interested. I'm into that like fantasy style play, where you can kind of just jump into a world and do whatever the hell you want. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to keep that, because I have a feeling that that Materium is going to be a lot higher than 15 cents by the time game time rolls around.
Yeah, I think it's going to be rare, very rare. And I think they want it to be rare.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Along with the rest of the coins, if you notice, if you have a music node, you're getting 1 decibel a day per node. So they want them to be rare.
But aren't those going to be the placeholders? Isn't that what?
I don't even know. I haven't kept up with that.
Yeah. Yeah, we so that's a good segue. We'll segue into Nerd Node. So ultimately with that, we once they made it live, we had a bunch of people that I don't even know if they knew they had these nodes. But we just started running them for them because we had all their node stuff open. Is okay, we'll just run it for them, and and then all of a sudden it comes out like they're gonna give the decibel, and that's when everybody and the popcorn. That's when everybody started contacting, like, hey, run my film nodes, run my music nodes. I'm like, oh, they're already up. You're good, no worries. So,
you got your decibel today.
Yeah, exactly. So, I got a mega bucket.
So those are. Anyway, about your Nerd Node thing, I'm interested in that. Is that something that people can use right away that we could sign up for right now?
Yeah. So we made the site live last night or this morning, whatever it was, with a sign up page on there. So ultimately, what it is we use magic links. Do you know what those are? I'm assuming you do.
No.
No. I'm going to butcher it when I explain it, but essentially, it's a you send a link through email or Discord, and then it's specifically for these. It can be for whatever, but it's for a link itself, so people can log in without giving us their password and their login. So you send them the link, they log it in, and then we have access to run their nodes for them. And we don't have access.
I'm going to switch my screen, and I want to make sure I didn't cut you off. I want to just highlight your website here. There we go. If you go on the, can you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah,
okay.
You're good.
Good. Continue.
Well, that's it. That's how you sign up, and then we take care of the rest. So we do it all. So we're going to run it for you. We're going to make sure it's up and running. If new nodes come out that you've already purchased, like a music node or a planetary node, whatever, we'll run it.
So how do you run it? I mean, are you like, if I were to have my node run by your service, would I be like logging in with my Gala credentials? How would that work?
Again, that's the magic link. So we send you the link, you log in with your credentials. We don't get the actual credentials.
Oh, you must have just said that and I must have just ignored it. Okay.
Yes, you did. So, and then once you log yourself in, now if you have multiple nodes, you'll get multiple magic links, but it's quick and easy. We have a sign up page on there because most people usually have a few more than one. And so it might take a little bit more time. And so we have a sign up page on there. So that way we have somebody on staff to be able to make sure that it all goes smoothly and get you all up and running. So
you might not see this, but I'm actually showing this on the screen on YouTube here.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not watching YouTube. I didn't want to like mess with the like audio or something.
It's delayed for like 20 seconds anyway, and it's kind of hairy.
Gotcha.
Do you have any comments or questions about this, Mr. Titan?
No, I'm looking at it now. I didn't think to go to the link before. I think that's a really good idea to have that tokenized sign-in, though. I was hoping it was going to be something like that and not where we had to, provide private keys or anything like that. Some of these services out there, they're like, hey, just trust us. I'm like, yeah, that's not how crypto works.
Well, actually, so we started and it was purely trust. So back in January, well, I'll back up even more from then. So a friend of mine that I bought a bunch of nodes with had an employee who was a really very smart tech guy. And we had him set it up so he basically ran our nodes for us. And he was doing a great job, and he was geeking out on it and doing all sorts of scripting and things like that. And as we move forward, and I think it was January when the big update came through and everybody's nodes were down, I contacted him. I said, hey, how many nodes do you think you could run? And he's like, oh, I could run 300-400 more. And I said, okay. And so I contacted a few people that were having some issues, and they brought their nodes over. We got them up and running right away. And I was like, we'll figure out prices and stuff later. We'll just get your nodes running. And honestly, I did this because this is what Doc did for me a long time ago. I had the same issue going on. My nodes went down. I was like, I'm having issues. It ended up being a machine ID thing. Anyways, he's like, or I was gone and I couldn't get him up and running. He's like, just send them to me. I'll get them going. So that's what he did before. This was before he started working for Gala. So anyways, that was kind of the genesis of where this started for us in the same boat. And we realized that Andrew's the guy, that's his name, he's the back end tech, and he was really quick on stuff, getting things up and running. And every time, the nodes would go down, from whatever updates they were pushing, everybody that was on with us was getting, 15, 10% more on those days where everybody was down, just because he was working hard, had a lot of good scripting going on, and then we just kind of moved it from there, and it's kind of blossomed into something very robust idea, I guess, in that we want to create a completely decentralized network, and where we're going to be selling hardware to people to run their own node itself, as in a nerd node, and then that will be the actual network itself as we move out from here. So running nodes right now is kind of the ballast for the company, creating income and stability, and the ability to move out from there. There's so many opportunities right now with people that are needing something like this, and not just for nodes, but for plenty of different business applications across the world.
So basically, your idea is that you're going to be running nodes for people to run nodes on. Do I have that right?
Essentially, yeah. So right now we're running their nodes for them, and we're going to continue to do that. This is providing us a ballast to move forward and create an actual decentralized network. Right now, it's somewhat decentralized. I think we have 12 servers up right now. We have 48 more that we're looking to get out and distribute across the world. And then that's just the base. And then from there, we have a next level that we want to work with. We have a 3-tier system that we're kind of trying to push out within our roadmap right now. The first ones are pretty big. They're, I don't know, size-wise, it would fit under your desk, kind of a rolling server, essentially. And then they'll size down from there, and the amount that's going to go out will increase as the size goes down, if that makes sense. So we'd like to have, the goal would be to have millions of these servers out into the world.
Wow. Will you eventually support things besides just the Gala nodes?
100%. I mean, when you look at like Netflix, YouTube, they pay right now for businesses in certain areas to host their own server in like their business area because they need some sort of decentralization for their own use, right? But they have the capital to outlay, $15,000-$20,000 for these servers to be put into these businesses, right? Well, there is thousands, tens of thousands of small businesses and medium-sized businesses that need that same type of decentralization or just access to some compute power that may be closer to them or in a certain area that they do business with, that we will directly market to and utilize them as clients.
That's great. So is there anything more on this nerd node, or would you?
I've got a couple questions.
Oh, go for it.
What comes to mind? So, your node fees, are those payable in USD? Is it crypto? How do you work that out?
So currently, right now, we do a USD, and we do it with credit card or debit card. If people really do want to pay in crypto, we will accept crypto as well. So
okay, and then how about the back end? So let's say, for whatever reason, after 2 years of you running my nodes, I say, you know what, I put my own rack back here. I'm throwing a couple blades in there. I'm going to run it myself. How does that exit process work? Do I get to take that back right away? How does the exit work?
Whenever you want. Right now there is no time limit. You could start tomorrow. We'll run it. It's a monthly fee, so we'll run it for a month, and then if you decide you don't want to do it anymore, we'll take it down.
Ooh, Myria nodes, and I see the strong icon there. Would you care to tell us what that means?
A strong icon.
Well,
who the heck has strong nodes anymore?
Well, I see what looks like a strong icon, or is that the nerd node icon? I don't know. It looks kind of like strong. It says "Tell us more." We have the coming soon Myria node, and then next to that is a "Tell us more."
Well, that will change. I think it was basically for people to tell us what other node systems they would like us to run. So our developers didn't understand that strong nodes, one, is a Ponzi, but two, also
I was like, is that your logo or what? Because it's probably a placeholder then, sounds like. This is
like the placeholder.
You said that you just got this up today, right? This website?
We've had a website that was going, but it was just very basic. We didn't have people sign up on it. It was just kind of a thing that was, was there. So we got this going so we could at least have a sign up page going. Yeah. So it's a work in progress, but it was, I think it was yesterday, last night maybe.
So what's this about Myria? I just clicked on it. No, it's just a sign up. So anything to say about Myria, perhaps?
Well, Myria is, for most people probably know about Myria. It's, well, let's see, what do we say? It is a copy. Well, how does the crypto play? It's a copy pasta. The way it looks for Gala. They've, all the games that they're bringing out on one side look like Gala games, or at least very close to them. But they are trying to put their games on a node system. They had a very interesting AMA with Jake on On-Chain Gaming. They don't really know what they're doing with their nodes. They are going to have a node system. So we will host their nodes for sure as they go down that route. So what do you know about them?
Are you, well, my 2 cents is I've done some research on them in the past, and they didn't seem to differentiate themselves too much from Gala. They seem to be, what impressed me about Gala games when I first got into it was the credentials of the people working on it. And it seems like Myria's got the same idea and the same business model, but without the people with those credentials. So it's like,
I think the one difference I see with Myria that's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out is, one, they're just games, and two, they're allowing all games that want to be on their platform to come on their platform. is what it seems like. So there's no real like filter system where Gala is like, we're going to bring great games. Myria is like, we're going to bring games.
We're going to we're going to host solitaire and hearts.
Yeah.
So I reached out to them a while back, probably 6 months ago, to talk to them here on Faz Radio, and they refused to go live. They wouldn't do live. Second, they required all the questions to be sent in advance, and we couldn't deviate from it. And so I passed on that. I said, well, that's bullshit. And they wouldn't commit to having anyone other than like the community manager on there. We couldn't get anybody but, for lack of a better way to put it, a lower level person. So
we'll have you talk to our peon.
Yeah, well, and I was like, okay, I get it. We're not the world's biggest podcast, but at the same time, if you're looking to grow, you want to get all the exposure you can get. I would think, right? That was a big turnoff.
The concentration that you guys have for gamers in blockchain gaming is probably higher than all other podcasts that are out there anyway, right? You might get an overlap, but your audience, whatever size it is concentrated in the blockchain gaming ecosphere. So they would definitely, if they knew what you guys were about, right, would want to do that.
By the way, I see this guy named Crypto in the chat here answering a bunch of questions on the YouTube chat.
Oh, is he on the YouTube chat?
Yeah, it looks like
so. That's Michael. He went to, a lot of people met him in Galaverse. Did you meet him, Faz, when you came up here?
Yeah, I met him.
Yeah, okay.
That's you guys still have my laptop sitting in your studio, which I still haven't got.
Right here. It's right over here next to my backpack.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I saw you and him for like a second, then you ran off to the countryside like you always do. Yeah, and talked with him for a while. He's an interesting guy. Anyway, go ahead.
He's a good guy. He's Crypto because he used to be an doc. So he decided to retire from that and move on to other things. So yeah, that's good. I'm glad he's answering questions. Hopefully he's answering them right.
Yeah, G-Man is peppering with questions. When we got to that point, I'd have to scroll back like 3 pages. I was like, holy cow. That's good, though. I mean, this is showing that people are interested in what we're doing here, talking about Nerd Node. I mean, your service is something people need. I mean, if I go into that Node channel, it's like constantly people griping that they can't get their stuff working.
Yeah, and we posted some stuff that was directly from Discord, people complaining. I mean, that's really what it came down to. And back in January when we actually went live with a bunch of people, we ended up getting like 400
or last year.
This year is when that big update that they had. I'm pretty sure it was January. I lose my days these days though. I'm getting
I know that I wanted somebody to run my nodes after I've been working with that PIVPS. Oh my God, it's some VPS service online, which gives you the bare minimum you need to run your Gala node. But I had an issue with them, and one of their machines didn't work, and they wouldn't fix it, and there was no recourse. And they eventually and then they shut off one of my machines, saying that it was used as as some sort of spam server. And I'm like, I don't even have an email server on this thing. This is your own server. And so I wound up just getting some machines at home, but I mean, it just put a bad taste in my mouth, and there's not really a lot of good stuff to run your node on.
Well, that's one of the things that we guarantee all our hardware, like we guarantee you uptime from our side. We're gonna, whatever is required by Gala for hardware systems, we're gonna make sure we maximize that, and we're gonna be up as long as we can. If it's Gala's side is down, we can't do anything about that. But if we're not up, we'll replace whatever was lost. So due to our error. So
nice. So
that's a huge thing, because a lot of people don't have the technical skills to maybe they try and throw it on a Linux machine and run it headless, and they can't get the commands to work and they get frustrated. This takes all of that away for them. They can just hand it over and say go.
Yeah. And that's as easy as it gets. Just log yourself
Right.
in, and guess what? We have a dashboard too that we're building out on the back end. I know Gala has their dashboard, but we're going to have more than just Gala nodes that are in there. So our dashboard is going to include all that stuff as well. So I think Chris brought something up interesting. We had talked about internally as well as hosting Ethereum validators, and so we've talked about that as well, hosting some Ethereum validators throughout. So, I mean, there's realistically, as we grow and as that network grows, we can do all sorts of things. So that's going to be the fun part.
So this isn't the only fire log you have burning in the fire, is it?
No, that's it. I go home at night and that's it.
This is his captain's log, actually.
Well,
man.
I've heard otherwise. I have heard otherwise.
I got way too many things going on, right? It's a good thing I have a lot of really, really smart people that are working with me.
Yeah, Nate used to be available, and I can call him and talk to him, hang out at any time. Now he's like, he can only talk to me like next week, and maybe when I call him now.
Oh, give me a break. I always have time for you. I always have time for you.
So, well, anyway, so there's a DAO or something. I think that's what Titan was hinting at.
There's a DAO. This actually kind of comes, at a point where I've been looking to do a DAO for over a year now. I had just tons of people that either one couldn't figure out how to purchase these NFTs to be exposed to that ecosystem. Nodes, they didn't know how to get into that. They didn't know how to run their nodes, whatever, or they just couldn't outright afford it, and they wanted to, be exposed to something bigger, right? A node or into some of these higher level NFTs. And I was just going to start a DAO that essentially people could be a part of and be exposed to, because I have a lot of these gaming assets, and I was going to push all those assets into it and say, here you go. Now you got it, right? And then as that was over a year ago, so that was just how it started. And then from there, it just kept changing and adding to and taking away. And finally, I'm just like, screw it. I'm just going to start it. I'm just going to move it out. So we've been sending out a few little Medium articles here and there, kind of explaining what our mindset is, what our process is, and we want to really bring.
What's the website again for the Medium articles?
It's just medium/forgedincrypto, I believe.
I'm going to call it up here.
It's medium.com/@forgedincrypto.
There we
So
go.
ultimately what we want to do is create a community of like-minded individuals that are super interested in the blockchain gaming ecosystem, and one way or another want to be a part of this, whether it's because we have really cool NFTs or they really like the people, they really want to be engaged and grow it and make some pretty fun stuff. We have games. We have a couple of blockchain games out there that want to be a part of the DAO. So actually bring that in as being owned by the DAO. And again, we want to have nodes that are a part of the DAO, so people can be exposed to that, yield that can be earned from those.
Is this some sort of financial product?
No.
Yeah, I was just going to go there myself. So it's kind of like a fancy way of doing a guild, except the DAO is actually that contract that allows people to perhaps spend a smaller amount but get to partake in what the entire DAO partakes in. Do I have that right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay. So
So it's a club.
So it's a big club and you ain't in it, right? So you want to be in it. That's the whole point. So essentially, I would say, okay, I join this DAO and I say, boy, all these exemplars are maybe a lot better than mine, and boy, look at this tank selection. If I can come in and I contribute, $500 to the DAO, I can use all the tanks in here. Is that kind of how it is working?
In the basics, we want to have a kind of a leveling system internally for people that more active within the DAO, whether it be anything from playing the games, playing with the NFTs involved with the games. Maybe they are a developer of a game in the house. Maybe they write articles for the DAO. Maybe they are a YouTube, they do some YouTube content for the DAO. But having some level that the people that are able to increase that level within the DAO can then choose, they'll have a higher ability to choose what, tank they want to use, right? I think where we see the real power coming in with the DAO is in numbers and what that can bring to the table in terms of other assets down the road, i.e. a citadel. So there's other citadels out there. I think there's 2 left. Eric, if you're listening, we take donations at the DAO, so we can talk donations, or we can work out a deal.
How come I don't see them citadels for sale anymore?
Yeah, they took them down. They took them down when Gala was going crazy, and I know because I put my little name in there. I'm like, I'm ready to buy a Citadel, and they said, sorry, the price has increased.
It's increased past the amount that you can pay. How much is that? More than you can pay. Okay. You have to ask. It's too much.
It wasn't a conversation like that. It was just at the price that you saw on the website is no longer the price anymore. It was a lot more. So
that's what happens when you get popular.
Yeah. So that kind of I was like, okay, so I got to take a step back, rethink how I'm going to approach this, and yeah, I mean it's there. That would be really cool. I know that'd be super fun, especially with a lot of the people that are excited about Mirandus. To be able to have a DAO that owns a Citadel and assets that can be, purchased or given to the DAO to bolster that Citadel, make it just a great place. I mean, that's gonna be a fun game. So, I mean,
all right. So let me play devil's advocate for a moment, because Faz and I probably spent 3 hours one evening talking about this very thing, right? So you get this DAO and it's fantastic, and you've got, let's say 600 people in there, and they're all putting the donations in, and you grab this Citadel. Are you going to be too powerful for whatever games you're in and kind of wreck the experience of playing the game?
I'm not understanding what you're saying. Repeat the question.
So if your DAO gets too big, right, and there's too many people in it, and you have too many assets, doesn't that detract from everybody's experience in game with one person having so many assets?
Well, it's not one person. It's the whole DAO. It's everybody's assets. Now, and the other part of that is how many assets are too many assets when you're talking about, it's not just one game, and it's not just 5 games. It's 20, 30, 50, 100 games, right? It can get as big as you want, and you have sections of the DAO that are game dedicated, right? So
so you can kind of gravitate as a member of that DAO. So if I hate Townstar, I don't have to do the Townstar stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, we want
okay.
people.
All right, I was thinking it was you join and you have to do whatever the DAO's doing.
No.
It's not like the Mafia, Mr. Titan.
I want. It's not the Mafia.
Okay. All right. So educate me. This is why we're here.
Yeah. No, I want the DAO. I want it to be a community ran system, right? I want the community to come in and say, you know what, Townstar is the best game out there. We want to put all of our time into it, and the people can choose, if they play that, and then you can have other people that say, no, let's put some, of our assets towards Mirandus, or maybe it's some crazy Myria game that's coming out, like the Cricket game. So who knows? Which that's an interesting one. Is
Solitaire? Will you guys have Solitaire?
Oh, that's what we're standing our whole entire DAO on. Is
Solitaire. There you go.
DAO Solitaire.
So
it's actually not Solitaire. It's like everybody has to play against each other. It's like this multi-round like Solitaire game. It's really fun. It's
cool. So I was imagining when Mirandus was first announced that there would be a lot of politics and castle intrigue as far as who's in charge of what in Mirandus. It's like, oh, did you hear such and such Citadel change hands today? Oh my God, who got it? And it's I think that in and of itself will be something that people will want to follow. I can imagine having a subset of Faz Radio just talking about palace intrigue in Mirandus.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you look at people are going to gravitate towards what they like, and that's what you'll want. You won't, and when you look at games right now, and kind of how I have my assets, I'm like, oh, I've got all these assets. How am I going to earn off these assets? Where do they want to go? And it's like, well, I got to find somebody who wants to play them, and I can't play all of them. In a DAO itself, is you're going to have people that gravitate towards those certain areas, and whether they are really good at it or not doesn't matter, because they're going to earn by playing the DAO assets, right? And a portion of that goes back to the DAO. So actually everybody is going to get a portion of that from every single game because of that.
So does that make you a competitor for Gala Games renting system?
No. I would want to use Gala Games. I would want to use every platform's internal renting system to go with it, because it's going to be more streamlined and easy. Now, we've looked into it with a couple different companies out there. Fireblocks is one of them, one of the larger custodial type NFT holders that are out there, but you still have to write your own code essentially to rent that out. It's possible, and it might still be a way to go, but I would much rather use Gala Games' internal rental system. I'd much rather use, whatever, you name it, EVIO.
So I see, getting back to the Mirandus intrigue thing. So at first I was thinking maybe there'll be a bunch of Discords, Discord guilds that'll pop up and people will be hanging out in the guilds. But now I'm thinking, especially with this DAO that you have, there's going to be another level of intrigue going on. If I'm part of the DAO and somebody took out my village, I'm gonna be like, guys, can you do something about this? Here, I'll put up a stable for sale or something.
Right. I mean, essentially, it's kind of has a built-in guild within it for the entirety of the DAO. Maybe not everybody plays, but maybe you need the full force of all the people in the DAO to do something, whether it's in Mirandus or anything else.
I know that Old Man Smithers is really amped up on that side of it. He enjoys that ownership role, so to speak, to where you're doing all the backroom deals and doing the management on that.
That's called palace intrigue. That's what that's called.
Yeah. So it is a fantastic way to not only do it yourself, because I think that this gives you a little more flexibility is really what it's about. So I have like a tavern and I have whatever else, right? And I'm kind of pigeonholing myself into what I can do within the game. Whereas if I'm with your DAO, if I decide, you know what, I hate running this tavern, I would much rather go over there and be a wheat farmer. I can just, swap out whatever it is and grab that stuff and go play till my heart's content. And I think that flexibility is something that's going to be huge going forward, because once you buy an NFT, which they aren't cheap, you're kind of stuck with what you got.
Right. And there's people out there that are going to be way better at running these games. I may be great at one of them or two of them. But there's going to be other people that are going to be better, or there's other people that are going to run other stuff way better than I am. And this is going to allow you to do that. So if you have some of these, bring them to the DAO, because we want to bring all these people that want to be.
So if I bring my NFTs, maybe I have a couple outposts that I want to bring to the DAO, are they still mine? I mean,
so there's two options that we have that we're playing out internally. One is that and this is my favorite, is that it's still yours. You are lending it to the DAO, right? So you will lend this to the DAO, and that's the hard part, as the smart contract on that. But ultimately would be you lending it to the DAO, and the DAO utilizes it for a time frame, 6 months, a year, whatever that may be. And then the rewards are shared in a three-way manner. The people that are running that NFT to the DAO, and then to you as the owner of that NFT. And the other way is, and this kind of is my favorite, is you just give them to me directly, Forged in Crypto. I'll give you my address, and then We'll see what happens.
And then that's it. And then it's gone. And thanks
Never
for
know.
playing.
Good game.
Well, you might as well just bring him to me, because I could promise the same level of
No.
whatever.
See, I'll do much better. I'll do much better with him.
Oh, okay.
I'll do much.
Well, we know now why your 2 wallets are stuffed full of stuff. All the backroom DMs. Yeah, let me just borrow that for a little bit.
Oh, I see. I saw so much of that when Mirandus first was announced. So many conversations with people, because if you grab more than a couple pieces of land, you're not going to be able to manage that land yourself. And so people are talking about how they would dominate a certain area, and how would this village be propped up? So you'd need some farms to kind of help out this village. So if you did have a village, it needs food. Well, if you can't produce your own food, maybe you have a lot of shops, you got to go make deals with farming hamlets and ranching hamlets to provide you with food, and you better not piss them off, and you better defend them if they get attacked. So I saw all sorts of intrigue going on. This game is going to be more than just a game. You're not going to just log in and play. You're going to follow along all day. You're going to be yelling at people off Discord. You're going to be logging in a huff. Like, what the fuck? God damn it. Okay. And okay. Do you got this? Do you got this? Okay, great. Okay. I'm going to go sell this at the store, and that's not even the adventuring part, which is most
Boys
of the
and
game.
girls, Faz is excited about Mirandus.
Anyway.
He's not the only one.
He's getting excited over there. Holy cow.
See, that's whenever I start talking about Mirandus, that's what happens.
Look, Mirandus, I mean, it's going to be a really cool game, but man, that's a big undertaking. I mean, it's a huge world. There's so much to it. But
well, what's funny is as soon as there's 1625 pieces of land, I think, and as soon as the land started selling, people were like, well, what's going to happen if you run out of land? They're going to make another Mirandus. They're going to make they're going to sell land in the sky. It's like, well, no, actually, most of the game is not the land. And it's been hard to explain to people because all they see is the deeds right now. They don't see any of the gameplay. I mean, they see the exemplars, but they think the whole game is just going to towns. And it's like, no, the whole game, the towns are just, what, 10%,
Right.
5% of the game?
Right, because the land can be never ending. It's your town that's the limited space. So
right, and you're going to have to move the town once the land gets. I think Mirandus Master even said in an interview just recently that they're planning to add more and more land as time goes on. If I'm not mistaken.
well, you need it. More people, more land. I mean, that doesn't mean it's going to be sellable. Land.
Right. I didn't mean to say land that you could purchase, just space that you could run around in the game.
I knew what you meant. Playable land where you're playing on.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of giant land and big areas of space, I hear Oregon's pretty big. And within that state of Oregon, I hear that there's some buried treasure. I heard this somewhere. I'm not sure.
Were you trying to make a segue there, Mr. Titan?
I was, because Faz, you will talk for the next 3 hours about Mirandus, and people will fall asleep on this.
Nate
podcast.
said that he would talk for as long as we would talk. That's what I heard him say.
I'm here. I got nothing going on tonight except talking here, so I'm having a good time.
And running a treasure hunt, apparently.
Well, I'll tell you, let's get through some of that stuff, and then if we want to sit and bullshit for 2 hours, we can do so. But I teased people with a treasure hunt, and they're waiting to hear all the juicy details.
Where's the goddamn treasure?
I thought we weren't going to talk about the treasure hunt. I thought that was supposed to be secret.
Then we're not going to talk about it.
No. We can figure this out. So this was a few, I don't know, because I was on vacation. So it was like, I don't know, a week ago maybe. Somebody brought up something about a treasure hunt, and in the Platinum channel, and I had said, does anybody know about Forrest Fenn and his treasure buried that he had? Well, that was an inspiration for myself to create my own type of treasure hunt, a virtual and real world kind of combination. Forrest Fenn wrote a poem, and in that poem were all the secrets and codes to be able to find this buried treasure, which was an actual like treasure box of gold. And it took, I think, 13 years or 12 years for somebody to finally find it. Cool idea. I really enjoyed it. I actually did my own little treasure hunting for it. I do a lot of hunting and hiking and stuff. And so I just, doubled it up with that. So, but it ended up being in Wyoming.
It's a way he can get a tax write-off for all of his outdoor activities.
Yeah, that's one place I don't write any taxes off yet. Maybe I'll start my own guide service. Then I can start to write things off. I don't know. My CPA would probably say I don't write enough off. How about that? So
anyway, about this treasure.
So anyways, that kind of was and much like the DAO, I had this idea and I expanded on it. I have pages and pages of ideas and notes that I've taken and thrown stuff together. I actually have a wallet that has 1 Bitcoin in it right now because I started that a long time ago. And that was going to be the reward. And it's grown in ideas and just concepts. And talking with Faz, with his cryptology background, made that even more crazy, but also kind of focused it. And he was like, just start it. Just start it and make it a progressive one. And I thought that was a great idea. So that might be coming too. So just do it.
I got very interested because he was talking about how my NFTs could be part of that. And, it's free advertisement for me. And plus, I like the idea of a treasure hunt. I started about a year ago the concept of a treasure hunt with my Zipbugs NFTs. I'm about halfway through kind of encoding that into the bugs, but or not even halfway through, probably about a 10th of the way through. But I saw a good opportunity to do some of this stuff, but a little bit more immediately. So Nate and I have talked about some plans, and now I'm really excited.
Man, I think he's more excited about this than he was Mirandus.
Yeah.
When Faz gets something like that hits his wheelhouse of fun, I'm telling you, he goes 100 miles an hour with his hair on fire. There is no doubt about it.
I love it. That's good.
So I can't really say much about. I can't really say much more about my involvement, other than I'm helping doing some stuff creatively and practically.
Yeah, 100%. Like the knowledge base you have is great. Like it helps out with a ton of areas. So, and I think it'd just be a great collaboration. It's always good to have another set of eyes on it.
Lunch Money here says, make sure to lay out some clear guardrails so that people don't go digging up graveyards and all that craziness that came with the Fen treasure.
It'll all be public land. I'll tell you that right now. If it's something that is to be found in the real world, then it will have public access to it.
So it's something that a 70-year-old man should be able to get to, according to Fen. That was his rule, wasn't it?
It just depends. I mean, there's a lot of different 70-year-old men out there, right? I hunt with a couple 70-year-old men. One of them, he can't leave camp. The other one, he'll get close to as far as we go out. We go up some pretty steep areas, and we go miles back, and he can do most of it. So,
well, you don't want people to go. You don't want people to start climbing all sorts of stuff that's going to get them killed. My only question, honestly, is, how does the legality of that stuff work? I know that it's kind of like geocaching. Geocaching is apparently permission to people just litter with little boxes and then challenge you to find them, right?
Oh, I don't know, but we're going to go down a path that's going to make me angry, where you're going to make it so the government says I can't do a treasure hunt and basically put something out there for somebody to go find that they make their own choice to go do on their own, walking somewhere, looking somewhere else, because they might trip and fall. You might trip and fall going.
Well, they'll want to regulate it. Maybe the SEC will get involved. I don't know.
I need to get my Zen back. No, I'm just kidding.
I think you just, Nate, do whatever the hell makes you happy and don't worry about it.
That's what I do all the time. I'm like, look, this is one life we get to live, and I'm going to have the best time of my life. I'm going to do what I can. I love this crypto community. I've grown with crypto for a while, but in this Gala crypto community, most of the people in there have been phenomenal. Like I've met and have made some probably lifelong friendships with some really cool people. And it's great. I enjoy it to the fullest. So this has been fun, man. Like these last couple of years in this side, it's been exciting.
Are you saying you didn't have a lot of friends previously?
Oh, I got plenty of friends. I got 4 of them.
No, I mean it is true though. It's completely true. So you have all these scammers out there and everything else, but in the Gala community and the CFA community, there are some really awesome, down to earth, deep hearted, good people, and that is hard to find nowadays. So I'm right with you on that.
Yeah, man. Like it's good. I have, and when I say 4, I'm not joking. I have 4 really good friends that I hunt with. Right, I have more friends than that, but like I see them, multiple times a year. Like they're right there alongside of me for a lot of things, and they're like my really, really good friends. I got plenty of other friends out there, right? That I spend a lot of time with, that are a big part of my life too. And but this community is different. It's interesting. Like they have a lot of good-hearted people that are looking out for everybody. So,
all right. And that was the number of planned things that we're going to talk about. I'm not sure how long you'll want to hang out afterward. We could either talk more, or we could even play a game of Spider Tanks.
Well, I don't have my Spider Tanks laptop with me, but I could try. I've got
You're
one of
Titanized now.
a nice laptop.
What's the minimum that Spider Tanks will run on?
I don't know. It's all black and white for me. Does that count?
Well, Spider Tanks is about as far as I can go on these old office machines I have. Anything more than that, it just totally it's horrible.
So we did have I don't know if you heard our chat this morning with Spider King.
No, how'd that go?
Not too bad. It's kind of funny. He didn't want to answer any questions regarding nodes and maps and stuff like that. And then like 2 hours later, then they make an announcement about nodes and maps. So,
boring. Come
missed
on.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell because Faz would ask a question. And he would be like super thoughtful and really slow answering it. And finally, at the end of the cast, he's like, you know what? I don't know what I even leaked or what I didn't leak, but I had a good conversation.
That's funny. That's funny.
So
I mean, it's part of me at some point, and I understand why they keep some stuff close to the vest. But then there's times where I'm just like, why? Why are we waiting to release this? And then I guess
I did mention this too. Actually, during his interview, was you have partnerships between the game maker and the game publisher. Game publisher being Gala Games, and so Gala's working with all the marketing, and they're just making sure everything's done. And Gala has marketing agreements, and they have calendars and plans to do things. And of course, then they don't go by any of them. But they have all those plans, and then you kind of, it's just all the agreements between multiple companies. So I get it. They were planning to do some sort of an announcement. If anything, I think maybe I gave them an idea to talk about it sooner.
Actually, I have something I want to bring up.
Is it a secret?
Have you? No, not at all. I haven't seen many people actually bring it up. Have you heard of War Park? I think it's War Park.
Yeah, that's done by Hit Factor, the people make Echoes of Empire.
That was interesting. I mean, I don't see anybody talking about that, but why was that not brought onto the Gala game platform? Was it their decision, or was it Gala's decision?
I would bet that if this is their first blockchain game, is War Park a blockchain game?
It's going to be, yeah.
Oh, maybe they're just, I would be the first person to tell people to diversify your holdings. It might be that they had something with Gala beforehand. Is this with them, just themselves?
No. So let me pull it up here.
Oh, is it with Animoca Brands or something, isn't it?
It's a different, oh man, Big Time. Is it Big Time?
Big Time. Okay, yeah, Big Time is the people, the company that people have been talking about lately, thinking that there's some sort of Gala Games competitor.
We went into that. What was it? About 2 weeks ago, you and I had that conversation.
Well, we went into Big Time 2 months ago, and then just recently we went into it.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. So one of the things that we do when we're talking with a lot of these devs and some of the senior people at these companies, Faz is really good. I'm terrible at that side of it, but getting into the business side of it, of making that line known, what is the developer responsible for and what does Gala do?
Right.
And it's also, it's not only meant to help people understand, from the back end when they're pointing their finger at Gala or they're pointing their finger at the developer, kind of where that goes. It's important to know that. And it could be that, these companies don't want to get married to one company. They do want to spread out their
that's a technical term called vendor lock-in. When I worked for the government, for the state, we had some of our applications that were locked in to Microsoft. They had a contract, and nobody else would maintain this hardware, the software, because it was so old, and we were led around by the nose with vendor lock-in. I could totally understand if Hit Factor wouldn't want to put all their eggs in Gala Games' basket, because what if Gala Games was to start knocking them around? What kind of options do they have? So it's a good idea, and it makes them more healthy.
Yeah. And I mean, I ran down multiple in my own head, like multiple different ideas why. Obviously, good and bad. One is you diversify, you go different places, see which one's going to hold out, but the way that you want it to. Maybe Gala didn't want the game. Maybe they didn't want him to have the game on there. Maybe they were upset because Battlestar Galactica came out on Gala Games, which is basically the similar game as Echoes of Empire. So,
well, okay, Battlestar Galactica is kind of an interesting one because there are at least two other Battlestar Galactica games that I'm aware of, and they apparently are done by different companies. So I don't even know what kind of game this is going to be, but I'm not optimistic about Battlestar Galactica. It feels like it was put there for the name only, but I hope the game maker the game company they have is a good one.
Yeah, well, I think with The Walking Dead is the same way. There's plenty of Walking Dead games out there. But I think this Walking Dead game for Gala Games looks pretty good.
The Walking Dead has been spamming their IP everywhere recently. You might, I don't know if you knew this, but Magic the Gathering did a Walking Dead set last year, which I bought some of. And I was like, hey, this is kind of neat. Walking Dead is kind of branching out. And now they have a game with Gala Games, and to me, these are just business deals. I could see The Walking Dead, I don't know, getting a zombie flavored cereal eventually, and not working with Gala Games on music or film or something like that. I get the feeling there's a lot of deals going on behind closed doors, and it's not all bad. It's just whatever you can get. And so for whatever reason, Hit Factor's gone with two different publishing companies. Okay.
Wrong or right, I have no clue why they did. It's just interesting. I feel like it's a very interesting that it came out. It's a tank game, I don't know.
Well, then Spider Tanks, they have Stoda.
Yeah, they have Stoda. It's just funny, like in Gold or even Platinum lately, it's been pretty spicy. I felt like that was one thing that somebody would have brought up and gotten really kind of a, conspiracy theoried around.
I'm not sure if I told you. I'm sure I have. Well, I don't know if I've told these people. I am anti-conspiracy theorist. Okay, I have done certain jobs where people have said, well, the people who work those jobs, they do all sorts of sketchy things, and I'm like, I know those people in the job. No, they don't. And I found that conspiracy theorists are just creative people that need a place for their creativity to go. And it's certainly useful, but if you're going to be creative, follow the evidence where it is. I'm really big for following the evidence. Great. Let's see where this leads. You might have a point. Oh, nope, it went nowhere. Try coming up with another one. You have a million ideas.
I secretly love conspiracy theories. They're like my soap operas. I don't follow them, like believe in them, but I love to watch where they go and how their minds work. It's fun.
I like plane crash videos because you hear about how the plane crashed and what happened in the events, and the pilots were all confused and the plane crashed, and then they comb through the wreckage and they find out what really happened. And they're like, oh, this 25-cent part broke. It's about following the evidence, and crypto is the same way. Whenever you see a new coin starting out or a new project starting up, it's who's involved. What kind of technologies are they using? What's the tokenomics behind the coin? I get very interested in the details and how they expect it to work.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of leads you. It's its own conspiracy theory, because the plane crashes. Everybody's like, oh, they got shot down, or this happened, and like you said, most of the time you're going to find out that it was just the fact that the pilot fell asleep or something.
And the worst thing about it is you can't talk people out of it. If they think that the plane was shot down, you can point out all the 25-cent parts in the plane that broke. It doesn't matter. Still got shot down. I'll believe what I want to believe.
Yeah. Oh
okay,
yeah.
That doesn't mean a damn thing, dude. It just means you're convinced for no reason. It's a belief statement. So I'm really one for paying attention to the details with crypto. Remember, and I say this a lot, don't listen to what people say, watch what they do. Watch for what they do, and that will show you exactly what's going on.
Well, that's why crypto is great, right? You can follow a wallet. You can follow somebody on Twitter or anywhere else, but you can follow their wallet. They'll say one thing, but they're doing something completely different.
Yep.
I mean, that's how you find the scammers. I mean, a lot of these people aren't the smartest people in the world, and they're literally lying to your face and doing something completely different behind the scenes, and you can see it.
Yep.
And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love crypto. It's right there in the open.
See, I certainly like palace intrigue, and that's what gets me interested. So yeah, tell me the rumor. I'll be interested in the rumor, and then I'll come back 3 days later telling you, I've tracked this down and I found out that much. And boy, wasn't that really interesting to get into. That's why Titan and I will go investigate different gaming companies. Like we looked into Myria, we looked into Big Time. Big Time's got some neat stuff going for it, I think.
So I'm gonna go into Myria for just a second because we've done a deep dive as well internally. And one of the games that they have coming in, I think, has the ability to be a pretty big game, and it's their cricket game. Solely on the fact that it is the second most watched and second most bet upon game in the world, next to soccer. And they have the number one cricket player, like they're basically making a game around him, and it's kind of follows him through his life and then into the game and all this kind of stuff. And just the idea of that alone could make that game a pretty big game.
So it's a gambling game. It's something. It's about gambling.
No, cricket the game where they have the little paddle in the ball.
I know. If you're betting on if you're betting on cricket, then it's the gambling aspect, right?
Well, I don't think the game is going to be betting on it. I think you're actually going to play the game in the game.
Oh, this is an actual cricket sports game. I thought that it was some sort of betting thing on existing cricket games.
Actual cricket sports game, and there's going to be like some like storyline aspect to it that you follow through with this. I can't remember the guy's name. We have another article on that on the Forge and Crypto Medium, but it follows his. Oh, actually, it's not up yet. It'll be up this weekend. That's right. On that one, but it follows him and his life, and then you kind of go that route, and then you go into playing the game, the actual cricket game. You're not betting on cricket.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, yeah, I'll have to look at that one.
Speaking of betting, I met with a guy today. It was very interesting. He has a project that he is almost done with, and it's there's a bunch of them already. They're a crypto online casino, but he is bringing the NFT side to it and the ability to win, your Bored Ape Yacht Club or a doodle or whatever you want to have that's up on the top there. It's kind of like you go to the slot machines and there's the Lamborghini you can win when you play 1 million times and you got lucky. So he's bringing that to the table, but it's the idea of potentially selling the game. There's some other aspects to it. I don't want to get too much into detail, but that's a really cool, like, interesting concept that he has going on. So he's selling the game, and then you could put your Bored Ape into it or whatever and go that route. But a lot of different things that are coming out in this bear market that I've been privy to over the last just couple months that people are building. It's kind of fun to see.
You know what I've been thinking? I was thinking about this for about the last week or so. That's some pretty good gossip. I was thinking of possibly having a Faz Radio gossip channel of just things we found out. We won't say who or when, but this kind of shit is going on. And you seem like a perfect, like, repeating guest, recurring guest to come on and tell us about neat, cool things to look into. What do you think of that?
Sure. I get approached. I got approached yesterday from a game that's a mobile game, and they are turning it into a blockchain game, and they are just kind of wanting my opinions and part of that stuff. So there's a lot of interesting stuff that somehow just gets approached me. It's not like I have this huge presence. I've got, like, I don't know, 200 followers or 150 followers on Twitter. I don't know, but somehow I get contacted by a lot of people. So yeah. It works out.
Well, you have some high-end Mirandus assets that people are going to start thinking that you're a whale.
I better get rid of those quick.
You still there, Titan?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Did you have to go to the little boys' room?
No. Just following along. I'm waiting for a chance to jump in, but somebody keeps yipping over everything.
What are you drinking tonight there, Titan?
I got my Sprite and vodka going.
Sprite and vodka, is that your go-to?
That's my go-to on Friday Faz Radio Live.
If I were drinking with you, it'd be whiskey. I'm on a little drinking hiatus for just a little bit longer. But,
I'm telling you, I was supposed to start a week of day drinking, but unfortunately, my wife caught the COVIDs. And so we can't take our annual vacation this week.
Oh, that's sad.
So that is not a good thing. So I'm going to day drink at home anyway. Since I can't spend any time with my wife, my kids are in school, I'll have nothing better to do.
And he's just going to yell at me because that's what he does. We're just talking about something, and he just knew that he was right about something.
Oh my God!
And then it turned out that he wasn't right about it. And then he was telling me, and he's like, sometimes I just get on these kicks, and I'm like, dude, it's okay, but just, stop thinking that you're right all the time.
I'm right everywhere except with Faz. He always has an out.
I do. It's called refining details. Amazing how many stories fall apart. I told you I like airplane crash videos.
That's funny. Well, your kids are already in school? That seems right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they started like yesterday. And they'll go for the next week or so, and they get a couple of days off here and there, to reacclimate them and everything else. But we start early, we end early. It's like so goddamn stupid. They give them... Their last day is like 2 days after Memorial Day. I'm like, why not just stop before Memorial Day? It's 2 days. It's like really dumb. But they get out real early. So my youngest is 9. And, my older ones, they understand, hey, we can't go on vacation. But she's kind of throwing a fit. It's a big thing. We're real close with my wife's side of the family. And... they've been going to a place called Fripp Island, South Carolina for a very, very long time, probably 20 years. And last couple years we've been going down with them, and it's a great, great place. It's right next to Paris Island where the Marines train.
Oh, yeah.
And Forrest Gump. Most of the Vietnam scenes from Forrest Gump are done on Fripp Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really neat. We went to the boat dock where they had the boat and everything else. It's an actual business right outside of Fripp Island, and you can still see the boat that they used in the filming. It's still sitting there. It's all dilapidated now, but it's a heck of a good time, and so we're a little disappointed on that. But in the long run, you know what? We always have next year.
How's your wife doing? Is she feeling better?
She's up and down. We think she had it, and the doctors think I had it way before it was even COVID. I was real sick back then, but she's doing okay. She's getting around okay, and she's basically staying in the room by herself, and it is what it is. She's doing okay. Over here, I wouldn't call it an outbreak, but it was. I had a couple people at my day job that ended up with it, and there was a couple of people at her job that ended up with it. We get these like little flare-ups every so often, and we've escaped it the entire time until just now.
Well, hope she feels better.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah. We had it early this year, my whole family. We literally came down with it within like an hour. Our symptoms were the exact same within an hour of each other. And
oh man.
Yeah, and it was it was a couple days of, just feeling miserable and then back to normal. So we were pretty lucky. Not too big of a deal for us.
But. Very cool. I'm always happy to hear when anybody can get through that. You read, no matter what, you can read anything you want to read about that stuff. Speaking of conspiracy theories. You can read anything you want on that, depending on what you believe.
Hey, now. Move on.
Yeah, we don't want to get too deep in this.
Look, I respect all opinions. You can, have any opinion you want. We're all humans on this earth. As long as you don't fuck with me or my family, we'll all be good. That's all that matters for me. So.
Very cool.
I
think we're all kind of similar with that.
I'm eating, so keep going.
Well, no, all of us, we all have our opinions on things, and I know you and I agreed the other night in Platinum on some of that stuff where, it's getting so damn complicated with how deep they're taking some of these seemingly simple games, right? You have a spider tank, you go out, you shoot people, you collect tokens, you go home, you move on. And these people are like 45 levels deep, and it drives me absolutely crazy sometimes.
Well, you want to know one of the games that's probably going to be one of the top blockchain games out there is EV.io. EV.io. Have you played it?
I have not. I've seen that somewhere recently before, though.
I want you to, right now, just type in EV.io. It is the accessibility is the best. The way you do it, you type it in, and guess what? You're playing. You're in a game. You don't have to have a wallet. You don't have to sign up for anything. You just get in, you play the game.
That's where I saw it. That's what we were talking about the other night.
Yeah, and I think Doc brought it up that there was a game that was easy like that, and I said, I think it's EV.io. And he's like, yep. Well, we did a deep dive in that a while back.
You keep talking. I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is cool.
So the access, right? This is what we want in blockchain games. Give me a game I can get in and play. Guess what? They didn't sell a NFT for a long time. My son's 13 and I was telling him about it. Oh, check out this game, buddy. He goes, oh, we play that one in school because it's not blocked by Google Chrome, by the Chromebooks. And I was like,
am I supposed to shoot the red ones or the green ones?
Shoot people. Shoot them all.
I'm terrible at shooting.
You shoot them all.
Oh, I got him. Holy shit, I killed somebody.
That's it. Look at this. You're already playing. See, this is what we need. Just people to play the damn game. And then you can make the money and do the stuff on the backside of this, right? Now you have the ability. They just did a drop for 2,500 limited swords today. I bought a couple. It's on the Sol network, which is fine. It is what it is. It's got some fast transactions and that kind of thing. But they waited, right? They have, I think... Oh, I can't remember what it was. I think it's 400,000 players that play this game.
I'm getting my ass kicked.
So this is it, right? This is what we look for.
This is what Gala Games needs to be.
Yes, thank you. Like, just get the game and let me play. Let me have
Game.
fun. Yeah,
They're the ones that say it the most. We're just a gaming company. We want to focus on gaming.
Oh,
So
look at that ads
they
on the
need
wall
to go
there.
here.
They got ads
And you know
on the
what?
wall.
Oh, do
Well,
they have ads
look.
on the wall now?
Well, I don't know
Well,
what it's
look,
for. I
so-
can't read them because I'm too busy getting my ass kicked.
So I'm not a coder, right? I'm not a developer, but how hard in theory, how hard could it be to where you play this game, you're collecting whatever it is, tokens or stars or whatever, and then when it says create your wallet to keep your coins.
Right. And that's ultimately what this was. They created it to where, okay, if you want to earn on crypto, you have to get a skin. So you bought a skin, it was cheap. It's like, I don't know, $50 or $20. You know, it's like a battle pass, right? So you
Right.
buy the skin and then you can earn. And it was a very simple earning mechanism. The tokenomics probably suck on the back end. I can't remember what they were, or even if they had them. I think it was just purely like you earn this token. It was the E token. And so, you know, what and how are they going to implement more burn mechanisms and sinks and that kind of stuff? They're going to do it as it goes, right? They're going to add the fact that you can now, you know, upgrade your weapon, or you're going to be able to, you know, they'll have a battle pass, most likely, Apex has, right? Something along those lines that you'll be able to utilize your E tokens for, and create the market for it. Then I feel like we've gone down this rabbit hole of trying to get it perfect from the get-go, and you know it's not that way. Just give me a game to play. Like Spider Tank's great. I love it. You can play it. Play the game, right?
You know, if they could do something like this with Superior,
That's the first thing I thought of too, man.
do you know how fast people would line up to play this? Their servers would melt.
So fast. It would crush everything. Because Superior, I love Superior is going to be a badass game. It's going to be a fun game. And that would be the perfect way to implement. Just bring it out. Great. You got your players. Go play. Right? They've already sold avatars and everything like that. They've already funded stuff with some of the things. So just get the game out, right? Let people play it. Right? As simple as it can be.
Just like this. Yes.
EVIO, they started with one stupid, very simple map. And people just went in and played. It was a simple game. And it just grew from there, and they added to it and they made it better. They kept making it better. They just recently started doing the NFTs and stuff. So, yeah.
All right. So
can I give
here's
2
the other
cents on
side of
that?
that.
Can I give 2 cents on that? That takes a
You
lot
said
of...
you were eating.
I was. I still am. But that takes a lot of discipline to be able... I mean, that's where they're probably doing daily or nightly deploys. And it takes a lot of discipline to get that stuff done. I'm not sure how old this EVIO company is, but those are some good developers then. Is this going to be a blockchain game?
Yeah, it's on the Sol network. It's blockchain game right now.
Do they sell NFTs or anything like that?
Yep. I think it was 4 or 5 months ago, they sold their first one, and it was a skin that you had to have to be able to actually earn their in-game token.
Oh.
So if you had that skin, then you got 1 E token for every kill that you got. And then if you were like the top killer, you got like 1.5 of the tokens or something like that. And then just today, they released their swords, and they're called the first edition swords, ev.io. It was on magiceden.io, and they did their mint drop, and it sold out in 2 hours. You know, it's not height of the bull. It's not height of the bull run, but it sold out in 2 hours. They were 2.5 ETH each, 2.5 Sol. It's on the Sol network. Sorry, 2.5 Sol.
How much is that?
Oh, it's Sol right now. Sol is $36, so it's 70. It was $73 essentially for one.
Okay, so that's fine. I think people will be happy to buy things that were like $50 to $100, but this whole thing where Gala keeps selling things for $250 minimum is getting old.
Well, and I wrote something recently in the eye of, you know, play to earn, free to play, and, you know, pay to earn, right? I think there's a place for all of these games, right? And all of these aspects to it. like the ability for me as somebody that has assets to be able to say, yes, I want to buy that Echoes of Empire, ancient planet. I can do that, right? Not many people can. And I have the ability to buy that and then utilize that as the way I see fit, which can then be a free-to-play option for people down the road, right? Or a shared revenue type option. So it's just another step in the program of free-to-play for somebody else, right? I'm kind of the partial owner of an apartment complex type of situation where I can rent this thing out. So I think there's the ability to have all these levels of different play to earn or pay to earn aspects within the gaming ecosystem. I prefer the EV.io model for my personal side to play, because then I can just get in and play, and do I like it? Great. I don't have to spend $200, $300, $1,000 to then play it and realize I don't like it. Now I have to take a loss for it potentially if I want to sell it down the road, right? So,
well, the other side of that too is you don't have to wait. You buy and you can use it instantly, and there's no wait for economists and everybody else to come out with this economy plan and make it super complicated. You just go and you play the goddamn game. And if you make something on the back end, you log out and you go, oh shit, I made 5 soul.
Yeah. And I mean, that's going to be appealing to the masses, I think. Right.
That's where your son's going to be like, no, Dad, I'm not going to go get a job. I make more than you.
Right.
I sent him the picture of the swords today, and he instantly logged back in and started playing, because he ended up with Soul because we did a whole Bitcoin summer, not this summer, but last summer, where we were learning about money and learning about, investments and, how to manage stuff. And he was able to get in and went to Pancake Swap. He bought some Gala, bought some pancake, or bought some cake, I should say, and invested in some of those things. And when the opportunity to buy the skin for EVIO came out, he was able to, one, make his own wallet in Soul, and able to bridge. I had to help him with the bridge part, to bridge over to be able to then have the Soul to be able to buy the skin. And so then he was able to earn when he played EV.io. I don't know. He's got I don't even know what it's worth now, but at a point in time, he had a couple $100 worth on there, I think. So, and then when I showed him the sword today, he was stoked. He jumps back in there and he sends me screenshots. He's like, "Oh, I headshot this guy." Oh, so he loves that stuff.
Well, I'll tell you, the kids getting into this. So I told you a little earlier when y'all were making fun of me about not being able to kill goblins. My son has that gaming PC. He got that from a combination of 2 things. So I got him into it. He loves the crypto stuff. He's 12. I showed him how to use dexes. And so he goes out and he started, I threw him a couple bucks to get started. He goes out and he starts trading on 1 inch. And he's knocking it. He's doing well, right? He's knocking it out of the park. Well, it was right when 1 inch did their initial token drop. So he logs in the one night and he's like, "Hey, Dad, I got all these 1 inch tokens. What does that mean?" Kid had fucking $5,000 worth of 1 inch in his wallet. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So then what does he do, right? He takes it and he throws it into Gala back then. And he's 12. he goes out. Listen, so right come November, if you remember back to November, he had $22,000 in his wallet.
Wow.
And I was like, he's like, can I spend some of this? I'm like, you know what? You earned it. Spend it. He's like, I want a gaming PC.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that was he got the Alienware,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. I was like,
Nice.
You earned it. Do it. And so that's how he ended up getting that. And this kid, I'm telling you, I was telling Faz the other night, I said, I got to go downstairs because I'm so bad at spider tanks. That kid has better spiders and better weapons than I do. Because he had so much Gala. He would buy it. Every chance he got, he would buy more Gala and buy more Gala. He's
going to crush it.
He's
Out.
right? He's going to be the rich one. I keep telling him I'm going to be in the nursing home. I said, you better save some of that for me, when you got to take care of me.
My kid did the same thing, playing Townstar online, and it's nice. I like the idea of Townstar because it's really kind of a responsibility kind of, budgeting kind of game if you really think about it. And he learned a lot about it, and he quickly mastered it. So got himself a machine that way.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Fun to see those things happen. Them get kind of. I mean, they're playing video games anyway, right? So make a little money on. Have fun with it. So
yeah, and they're doing all that stuff through me. I'm kind of facilitating. It's not like they're gambling or anything like that. But getting them to understand how crypto works, how money works, what trading is, and stuff like that. You want them to. I wish at 12 that I was taught these same things by my parents.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right, I got one more for you guys. What do you think about Cryptoys?
Crickets.
Nothing? Nobody? I think,
chirp.
Well, maybe we'll just leave it there then.
Well, what would you like to tell us about Cryptoys? I'd be interested.
Yeah,
in
hang on.
about
I was downstairs getting some more booze. Hang on. What do we got here now?
I thought we lost Titan. I thought he passed out.
No. I was down getting a drink. I heard Faz start talking. I figured I had 5 minutes.
That's how it always goes. I was just letting Nate run the show, really.
So Cryptoys is a company they've partnered with some pretty big toy companies. Let me pull it up here to get the exact ones here.
I am pulling it up with you.
Yeah. So they're okay. Let me kind of just segue here. Do you guys remember the old Nintendo, the Wii, and the game Skylanders? Nope. Okay.
I was rather fogged out during the Wii period of time. That's I wasn't into any games at that period of time.
So the Skylanders was you had this little game piece, and you could put it on this little portal, and that portal would pull it up into the game itself, and you had this character that you would play with, and that game piece that you had a little RFID code or whatever in it that would scan, and so when you played it, that character would increase and upgrade as it went along. So where that game piece went, that character went with it, right? So if you put it on your buddy's Wii or whatever it was, Wii, and you brought it up, it was that same character, the same advancement, all the levels that he was at. So Cryptoys doing something with the NFT world in that same sense is the way it sounds to me. Is they're going to be able to pull it into the metaverse, into games, to where you have this toy, because they've partnered. I think they partnered with Mattel and some of these other big toy companies. And I've spelled it wrong. That's why I can't spell.
Is there a site that I can pull up?
Yeah, CRYPTOYS.com.
So you have this toy now that has an NFT tied to it, and that NFT can advance and grow and be rare or whatever it is. But you have both the physical and the virtual world that goes along with it. Kind of a cool concept. Pretty big partnerships. Let me pull them up here so I'm not just. Oh yeah, they've got their first is going to be the He-Man Masters of the Universe. I mean, come on. Who doesn't love He-Man?
So where are you on this site?
I just scrolled down. They showed the He-Man one. I'm trying to find out where their partnerships are here.
Wow, this thing like scrolls forever.
I know, right? That's like there's like good. No, where are we at?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, I thought you could click on those things.
A16Z, Draper Associates Coin Fund, Wonder Company,
Yeah, those are just
Sound
their
and
investors.
Holy
Those are just
cow.
their investors. Yeah, they got some big time investors that are in it, but the game companies,
Partnerships. Here we go. NFTs on another level. Interactive experiences. So it's kind of like a fuzzle with a NFT combined.
You mean
can
a fuzzle? You
customize
mean a
these
fuzzle
things.
is a cryptoy?
Hey, don't knock the fuzzles. That was a great idea.
It is a great idea. I just don't like the voice.
does it give you nightmares?
I'll just say nicely that I don't like the voice.
Yeah, so they
That
have
was
Mattel's what their first one, that's their big one that they're coming out with the He-Man Masters of the Universe Cryptoys. Yeah, I don't know, just a really cool concept. Big partnerships. That's going to be a one I think to watch and kind of look out for, and see what happens.
That's a definite good one. So are you out like on the regular looking for other projects, or is it just kind of whatever you bump into and you poke around?
Kind of both. Depends on where I'm at. Like lately, I've been on a lot of vacations, so there hasn't been a lot of research and stuff. But I have a couple people that work with me here. Blake, he's a young kid, just graduated from university down here in Oregon, and super motivated, does a lot of really good research. He helps write a lot of the articles on the Medium page, and so he brings a lot of stuff. I actually had some interns over the summer. One of the interns is the person that brought EV.io in, and there was a few other games that were interesting that they brought in. And then it's just kind of going around that part. And I mean, this is what I do. So I'm researching, and I have a lot of people that I follow on Twitter that, point me in directions and see different things. And then I just have a lot of connections in different places that bring stuff to me as well. So until October hits, then I'm going to be hunting for a while. So I'm out.
Yeah, I hear you're like the big outdoorsy type. So hunting, fishing, hiking, anything else? Kayaking? Do you do that?
I love the water, like floating down rivers. It's like I do a trip every year. That's why I couldn't go to Malta this year. It's annual. Every year I go with some friends of mine down the John Day. We float it and fish it, and we do some day drinking. And then I love hunting because I love the woods. I also love to cook and serve meals, and so hunting actually gives me access to be able, because I process all my own animals, and so I love to take it from what I was able to harvest all the way until I was able to serve this amazing meal to like friends and family, and like have that experience from start to finish. So it really, it's my church. Outside, the outdoors, my church, man. It makes me feel just kind of recenters myself, and brings me a lot of peace, and I really enjoy it.
I think you're going to be on a reality show up in Alaska at some point.
No, I won't be on TV. No, thanks. I'm out.
That's why he's on this radio podcast, folks.
Well, you told me, Faz, that I have the great face for a radio show, so it works out for the best.
I really don't want to show myself on a radio show because I like to pay attention to other things, pick my nose,
Oh my
clean
God,
my office.
Nate!
I don't
Nate,
just sit there staring at the
me.
screen like a lot of people do.
You got to help me, Nate. I've been trying we've been on for 1 year and 6 months, and I've been trying for 1 year and 5 months and 30 days to get this guy to put his camera on, and he won't do it.
See,
I think you're missing out on an opportunity, not just for you can just do brief shots of yourself so people know who you are. Wear a mask if you want, as in to hide your face, and then show
that's
different.
An idea, actually.
Show different screenshots. We're talking about Cryptoys.
But that's what we're doing right now. I'm showing all these screenshots. Why do you need to see what I look like?
Are you showing those on YouTube now? Because you used to not to.
Yeah, I've been this whole time. Every site you've told me about, I've loaded up.
Oh, perfect! I didn't know you were doing that now, so that's awesome.
You know what I like is those YouTubers that have a cartoon character that lip syncs to them and stuff like that. But the only way you can do that is if you have an iPhone. That I would do. But I like the idea of a mask. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm roaming around. I'm like cleaning up my shelves and stuff while you guys are talking. I'm eating. I'm blowing my nose. Who wants to hear all that? Or who wants to see all that? I can't sit still long enough to just... I mean, you have to look like you're actually paying attention when you're doing a podcast, don't you? You have to, like, stare at the screen and, like, act like you see the other person.
No, people want to see you pick your nose, man.
Mr. Titan there wears his wife beater every time he gets on camera.
I got 2 videos out now, and I have a wife beater in 0 of them. I showed up one time in a wife beater. And he's gonna throw that out there. I put out those videos. Yeah, so I put out some good videos. I did some breakdowns, and I put those out for a CFA edition. I'm working my own gigs on the side as well, trying to build something myself and do some video podcasts. And I kind of dox myself. Everybody who's here can very easily find me and hit my website and click on the About Me and know exactly who I am. So, I do understand about the privacy thing. I really do. But at the same time, you have people like all these government people who don't understand, shadowy super coders and yada, yada. I don't care if people know my name. I don't care if people know what I look like. I'm here trying to help people better themselves.
Cryptoys just tagged us on Twitter, so they must be listening.
I tagged you guys.
Oh, you did that. Okay. Well,
they replied back to us.
Okay.
So.
Well, go ahead, Mr. Titan. Tell us more.
No. So, I got to a point, I understood about the beginning, but I really don't have a problem with it anymore. And I want to be able to grow in that way. I don't want to be limited to just the yellow bars going up and down. I have a lot to say on a lot of different things. And
are you saying you have dreams? You have aspirations?
I want to quit my day job and I want to do this full time. That's really what I want to do, and I'm trying to build it so I can do that.
Okay, I'll show you what I'm looking at on the internet right now. There we go. In 2013, Bitcoin is fake internet money, according to the government. Nowadays, Bitcoin can destabilize nations. What's that really mean?
I saw that.
It means crypto is starting to catch on. See,
yeah,
I'm surfing while you guys are talking. I'm like half listening. I don't know. It's just who wants to watch people just staring at the screen? I know a lot of people do, but you're here to listen to us. So I want you to turn me on while you're driving down the road. You can listen.
Well, you can do both.
Right.
I think there's a certain amount of people that actually like to see the people that are talking. Is all. So I mean, you can do whatever you want. You're doing just fine.
Mask. I'll get a Guy Fawkes mask. That would
There
be
you go.
appropriate.
Done.
I have one. I can send it to you.
There you go.
Not surprised.
But anyway, yes, it's just kind of showing how cryptocurrency is really catching on. The fact that, at first they laugh at you, or first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you. And they're getting to the point now where they're really starting to have problems with crypto. They're like, wait a minute, this is actually taking US dollars away from us. This tornado cash thing is really kind of annoying, because for the first time they're starting to sanction software. And once they start they're no longer sanctioning people, they're sanctioning software. And it's obvious they want to be in control of the monetary system. And the whole point of all this stuff...
They're going to do.
What's that?
The moment they implement their central bank digital currencies, that's what they're going to get. Full control.
Oh my God. Don't even start. I will do a Faz and go on a tangent and get loud and everything else. People don't understand how horrible that would be.
It's the worst thing that will ever happen to anybody that has any kind of inkling that they have privacy or want to have any type of control over their own finances, their own money, their own life.
The government's going to know every dildo you buy, everything you purchase. They're going to know. They're going to be able to run through their computer systems. I mean, right now they have to go at least subpoena your credit card companies or something like that.
They can have all that information they want. I don't care. But what they're going to have is if I don't fall in line with, whatever thing they need me to do or want or feel that I need you to do, and I don't do that, then I'll just freeze your bank account. I'll just freeze your CBDCs. Right? That's the thing I don't.
Yeah, that's the thing. So if you think about it, right? If we play this back, and I won't go too far, Faz, I promise. But if they come out with another vaccine mandate and they say you have to isolate and you can't go more than 2 miles from your house, they can shut off you spending your money anywhere outside of 2 miles from your house.
Just like China's been doing.
That is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
100%.
And yeah, oh my goodness. So it came, like you were saying, with that progression, first they'll laugh at you, then they'll, they're to the point now where they realize they're starting to realize what this can do and where this can go. And these developers, thankfully, are one step ahead right now for being able to do what they want to do. And let me explain that with using one of my favorite tokens, AMP, right? So AMP.
Oh my God. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. It was the collateral token, right? And it was mentioned. It was catching on. It was being used by Gemini. It was being utilized in real world applications, and they caught wind of it in the Coinbase mess. And so they flagged it as, oh yeah, that's going to be a security. Well, guess what? Nothing has happened to it since they said that. It took a little dip. It popped around. It's doing just fine. AMP, the team behind AMP, ignored all the stupidity and just kept building. They don't care. We're going to make this work no matter what happens. And all of a sudden, all these other little crypto projects that are being picked on are saying XRP, right? They're in the middle of this lawsuit. They don't give a shit. I just saw a thing yesterday. Garlinghouse is out there with pictures of his new deal. They don't care. They're just continuing on as always. And the government's looking and going, wait a minute, they're not stopping when we're throwing these bombs out here. We have a problem now. And that's where we have to keep moving forward.
Yeah. No.
I was going to Google a picture of that conspiracy dude, but you stopped talking, so I guess I won't.
That's my Mirandus, my Faz Mirandus moment. I get hot about
Can I show that
stuff.
picture every time you talk, and then I'll show a different picture every time I talk? We could do it that way.
No, just put your damn face on the camera and get over it.
Give him the Guy Fawkes mask.
I'm gonna send that out to you, Faz.
Maybe I should do it if I get 5,000 followers. There you go. I can use this to my advantage.
And he'll go, yeah, but 5,000, that's all bots. Wait till we get like 5,000 verified. He'll put
That's
it.
That's a good idea. I like that.
How many do you have now?
It's the mystery. Let's see. On the YouTube, we have a whole whopping 368 subscribers. I meant to say subscribers, not followers.
And how many people do you have in your in the Discord?
Oh,
5,236.
I thought 5,700, but yeah.
I see it. 5,673.
Yeah, I've tried to get them all. I've tried to get them all to like
fair.
me and subscribe, but only 668 actually listen.
Yeah, it's growing though.
It is.
It'll keep getting bigger.
All right.
We earn them one by one. We work for every single subscriber we get.
So I have a very, very interesting question for you, Nate.
Yeah, bring it.
We've gone through everything that you're putting out right now. If you could, yeah, and I know you're busy, right? But you talked earlier, and I caught on to it. You're always thinking, you're always trying to be forward, you're always trying to be ahead.
Got the picture up for Titan here.
Oh my God! So if you could do one thing, just snap your fingers and make it happen in this space today, what would that be?
Are you talking about the crypto space in general?
Yeah, yeah. Just a project that you could do. If you snapped your fingers, you could make it happen. What would it be?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. Jeez.
I'll let you think about that. So for me, it would be an app to where I didn't need a bank, right? I could have it direct deposited.
Hey, no strike plugs here.
No strike plugs. You brought it up, not me. I could just go and I could spend it wherever I wanted, and I would not have to rely on a bank at all for any reason. No way, no how. I would snap my fingers. I would make that happen.
And you're considering exchanges as banks, right? You can do that right now with your FTX card or a Coinbase card.
Yeah, so there's always an intermediary, but it just get to that point where you could just dump your money in something. Nobody could touch it. Nobody could get to it. You have your seed phrase. That's yours. And you could just use it anywhere for any reason and not pay fees and not deal with bullshit and tell everybody, fuck off, that's mine. So
that's what got me into Bitcoin in the very first place. Well, not first place. We mined it back in the day, but when I really got interested into it was the ease of the ability to hold my money and move my money around without having to call a banker or do anything along those lines. That's what got me into it. So that's great. I love that. That'd be fantastic. Let's see. I don't know, man. Like I don't live. It's hard for me to do that kind of stuff because I always try to like live in the moment now of where I'm at. And then, so I'd have to think really hard. So talk about something else and I'll think about it.
All right. So you're a family guy too, right? And when you think about where your kids are going to be with crypto, how are you setting them up so that they'll be able to embrace this space and be passionate about this space like you are?
Well, ultimately my goal as a father for myself is to try to impart as much wisdom that I have upon him to be able to make sound decisions in the future. I was never taught about money, what it was, saving, anything along those lines. I grew up in a ridiculously poor family. So whatever money we did get usually was spent on food or clothes, right? So, and we didn't have any type of money management that was taught to us at all. So when I got in the military, and I got deployed, it was all tax-free, and I came back out of deployment, I had $10,000 in my bank account. I was like, this is amazing. I didn't invest it or do anything. I went out and spent it. I bought booze and some radio equipment, a big-ass TV. I spent that all in like a month, right? Like, because I didn't have any knowledge base on that. And so, I mean, for me in this space, trying to teach my son what money is or what it can be, and the ability to realize what you can do with that, not just investing and making more money from it, but what can you do to help yourself feel secure, to feel comfortable, and not having to rely upon somebody else to take care of you. I mean, that would be my one hope that I could actually impart upon him. And if he has an excitement for this field, that's great. That's just like bonus on top, right? So, yeah, that's where I'm at there.
I kind of do the same thing. I let them, all three of my kids, 14, 12, and 9, they all have crypto wallets. And I tell them, go trade the tokens till you're blue in the face. If you lose it, you lose it. Play around, do what you want. but never sell your Bitcoin. Always keep that, hoard it, put it away. I think someday that's going to be something that you are. Oh my God, Faz, really? You're going to put that up underneath me?
Find your picture.
Yeah, he pulled that up. I'm watching him do it, and he just got to poke the bear constantly.
I had it up on the screen, but it didn't look right. I had conspiracy dude up there, and I wanted to switch back and forth, and it's just better if I got an image. Don't worry, I'll put one up for me.
I'm one of those guys, man. I am. I don't think we went to the moon. I think
okay, you're disqualified from Faz Radio.
I think the Secret Service agent who drank too much and partied the night before accidentally discharged his weapon and killed Kennedy. I think that COVID is a man-made thing. I'm full of conspiracy theories. There's a
He's
lot
got
of
one for every occasion.
I do.
We went to the moon.
And I don't think we went to the moon. No, I don't.
Believe the Earth is round or flat?
Yes. And I say that because I don't know. I've never been up there to see it for myself, so I don't know. I think there's compelling arguments for both sides.
You're my new favorite person, man. I love it.
Yes, he's been entertaining me for the last 30 years.
Look, he's right at my wheelhouse. We were coming back from Hawaii, my wife and I and my son, and my wife was sitting next to this guy that she comes over to me midway through the flight. She's like, "Oh, you're gonna want to come talk to this guy. He's really interesting. He's an entrepreneur and he's really interested in cryptocurrency. Like, let's switch seats." Like, okay, fine. I go there and talk to him. The guy is on another level, maybe more than Titan on conspiracies. Like he's going off on stuff, but he didn't tell me the best one. He told my wife, and she didn't tell me. He was a full-on flat earther, and I was like, I mean, look, you can believe what you want, but I was really, I was disappointed she didn't tell me because I wanted to ask him why. What are all of the reasonings why you believe the Earth is flat? Because he was giving my wife some very unconvincing arguments of why he thinks it's flat.
Yeah, at least you make it consistent, okay?
All right, so I can't.
No, I don't want to get it. I don't want to get into the flat Earth or the
no. But listen, So I can't show you because you won't do video on here. But if you can see the same constellation up in the sky in the summer as you can in the winter, that should tell you a lot.
What does that tell you, Titan?
The Earth turns and tilts if it's round, like they tell you, and you're on the other side of the sun, which means you're pointing in a different direction, completely 180 degrees different. So if you can see the same one at night from both sides of the sun, tilted in opposite directions, that should tell you.
You need to understand how parallax works, Mr. Titan. See, here's the funny thing about flat Earth and moon and all that stuff is 30 years ago, there weren't a lot of flat Earth people. And there weren't a lot of moon landing deniers. There were just, it was the internet, basically, that got all these people to merge together, and then they've started convincing other people and infecting other people with their belief system and stuff like that. All these things that you talk about are very easily verifiable. The constellations, landing on the moon. The neat thing about landing on the moon is we left stuff there. We can actually see them with telescopes and with satellites. So you can actually go to a telescope and bounce a laser off of the moon from a laser reflector that we put there. But here I am. I'm starting to talk about this bullshit, and I said that I wouldn't. So I started the show with this is I'm all about verify. Look for evidence for what you're talking about. It's one thing for somebody to say something. It's one thing for somebody to say that the Earth is round or that the moon we haven't been on the moon. It's another thing altogether to know whether they actually have the ability to know that. So watch what people do, not what they say. if you start seeing them believe in 5G viruses or disbelieve certain things with radiation, realize that they're using systems right now that wouldn't work if the universe were the way that they thought. Look at the evidence around you, and then that goes to crypto too. If you start getting interested in a coin, I'm just as likely as Nate to get really hyped up over a coin based on something they say. And if you don't check your facts and verify it, then you're going to get rugged. So that's what I wanted to pull that back to. You like how I did that?
It was a good segue, or it was a good roundabout.
I like it. I don't care what you believe in. If you come up with, if you're able to show verifiable evidence, that's going to solve every argument from COVID to moon landings, whatever, to crypto. And when you're looking into your coin, looking into the coins that you like, don't get a coin because your buddy likes the coin. And don't even get into the coin if your buddy is successful at the coins, because he's probably trading in the way that you wouldn't want to do. I mean, I've talked to a lot of day traders who make money left and right, and they're buying coins that just make me like vomit, but they're in and out of those coins. Well, I want to hold my coins, so I'm going to get coins that I believe in, or NFTs.
Well, let me tell you. So, let me tell you a story, listeners and Nate.
We're going to want to wrap this up soon.
I know. Let me end with this. So, you talk about that, but at the same time, back in September of 2020, I've told the story many times. Faz got me into the crypto at that point. And he calls me up the one night, and he's in a panic, and he's in a huff. And he's like, I just got off the phone with Gala Games, and they don't even know what an accredited investor is. And I'm like, dude, why are you putting money in there? If they don't know that, they don't know what they're doing. He's like, yeah, but I'm telling you, they do know what they're doing. And I'm like, yeah. So I waited 4 months before I got into it. And so I blame Faz for missing out on the early part of Gala Games, because he called me with those goofy ass statements that like totally had me all nervous.
What I did there actually was I looked at Gala Games actually had a white paper of some sort. I forgot what they called it, a draft white paper or something.
I still have that saved on my hard drive.
Yeah, I have it somewhere. And in there, they're talking about we will only sell nodes to accredited investors. So then I went on the Gala Discord and I started asking people questions about, hey, apparently you can only sell nodes to accredited investors. Bam, it gets deleted. and I keep talking about things about the nodes. Hey, I think this is security. Could somebody tell me otherwise? Bam, it gets deleted. And then some mods are on. They're like, shut up, man. This is not what this is supposed to be. And so I was getting rather pissed off because I wasn't getting the kind of details. So I complained to Titan, which was a mistake, because the first thing you tell Titan, he'll just believe that from then on. So then I actually got a hold of Bitbender. And Bitbender sat down, explained it to me, how all that stuff works, and it made a lot of sense. And then I pointed out the white paper, the issue, and he's like, oh, yeah, there's some template language on there that I should take off. We need to fix that. And so I was able to get my concerns addressed. But unfortunately, Mr. Titan never caught up with that. He just heard my first bit where I just said that these people are fucking nuts. And then once my concerns were assuaged, and now he's like, well, you're just going back on what you said. No, I learned more details. I did my due diligence. And if you're going to invest in Myria or big time or whatever, do your due diligence for those things. Make sure that they have a credibility level that you approve of. I approve of Gala and how credible that they are, and eventually he did too, despite his reservations. But as you can see, it's still sticking out. He still believes it.
Trust but verify.
Yes.
Trust but verify. Yes.
That's what I do. That's my mantra.
I love it, man. This was a good call.
Well, yeah. This went on for a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm glad everybody had fun. I'd like to do this again.
I'm in.
I think we need a gossip channel, because I would certainly like to hear about all the crazy stuff, just so that I can go look it up and then say the next week, hey, I looked into this and guess what I found out.
Well, Titan and I, we're going to start our own podcast. It's going to be Conspiracy Theory Radio.
Hey, if you want to talk about that
yes! I am in!
Notice the more drunk he gets, the more he talks like this. This has been, what, 2 hours of him drinking straight?
I don't know. Not enough. That's all I know.
No. I'll tell you what, though.
It's going to be good when I can have a whiskey with you. So.
Oh, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Faz has nothing but good things to say about you. I think
the things I say about you, some of them are good, yes.
Well, I'm telling you. So these business ideas that you have, Nate, are fantastic.
Those are the secret
really
ones.
Are.
Can't talk about the secret ones.
No, I'm only talking about what we talked about tonight.
Okay, good.
And I think you're going to do very well with this, because this is... Everybody wants a crypto business, but these are businesses that people need. They have to have these things to make their life easier, right? So if you can make their life easier by running their nodes so they can focus on playing the game, that is huge. That is huge. Let the nodes run over here. Let Nate take care of that. You focus on playing that game and earning that money.
That's right.
That's huge. And I applaud you for that. That's a huge undertaking. What you've done since our last phone call till what we have here today. I mean, that was only like 6 months ago. You've come a long way.
I'm waiting to hear an "I love you, man" here. He's getting very close to "I love you, man."
No, I'm excited because so many people say what they want to do and they never do it. He's doing it, and it's there. You can do it today.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. I appreciate it.
True.
That's, hopefully we can keep it going in the right direction and create a bunch of cool stuff. So,
all right. Well, thank you, Mr. Nate, for stopping by, and we will talk again later.
All right, guys. You take care. Have a good weekend.
See ya.
I'm going to end it here. Thank you, guys, for staying with us through this 2-hour podcast. So we're going to cut out here.